What's going on when it's going on in the zone, y'all? Y'all gotta forgive me. I went to the doctor today when got my fitting for the hearing aid. Yeah, I'm going deaf, y'all. So y'all gotta forgive me. I ain't got my mask on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing going on today. You feel me? I ain't got my hat on, so I'm gonna say parental advisory. This may be explicit content. You know what I'm saying? Once again, this is parental advisory. This may be explicit content. So hide the young kiddos. Ain't no telling what I say when I say what I'm gonna say. Look, I ain't got my hat on straight, none of that. I do got me a sort of a mask. You know what I'm talking about? Can't reveal everything. Hey, I got half of it right. You know what I'm talking about? Got my hair pushed back so you can see what's going on. But we ain't gonna talk a whole lot. We're gonna get straight to the straight twos. You know what I'm talking about? I watched me a little basketball, but I didn't watch me a little basketball. You understand? Um like one or two of the games wasn't on TV. My most prominent one was on TV, so it don't matter. So we're gonna get into these scores. And congratulations to the people that moved on to the next round. Um, Today is Wednesday, so we gonna have LeBron James playing. You feel me? And we gonna have the Pistons. Hopefully, you can win one today. You know what I'm talking about already. So it was shout out to Portland and shout out to the San Antonio Spurs. I see you moving on to round two. It was another Wembyama sighting. He had like 6 blocks, and De'Aaron Fox had like 21 points. And it looked like they got it done on the spreading of the field. What other game didn't come on TV? The 76ers and the Boston Celtics. I don't know what Embiid had ate between the day before yesterday and today, but he went to work, okay? He had 33 points, he had 4 rebounds, and 8 assists. Now, the 4 rebounds can maybe be stepped up, but he was moving and grooving. He looked like he had his step back. If we can continue to have that step going, hey, it might be over with in game 6. You know what I'm talking about? Hopefully, we don't have to see a game 7. You feel me? Only thing about it is what? As come you done lost your shot, sir? You only had like 10 points. But you know, you're a rookie, so hey, you gotta have a drought. Only thing I don't think person shouldn't have a drought is Paul George. What are you doing, sir? All right. Lucky Embiid and Maxi was continuous with their shots. You know what I'm talking about? But let's talk about this Boston Celtics. I don't know. You know, you had Jason Tatum and Brown. They did their thing, but everybody else didn't want to come around. You know what I'm saying? They was putting them up. They just wasn't putting them down. You know what I'm talking about? Already. Now you know me. You know the game I want to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? The beloved New York Knicks versus the Atlanta Hawks. Now New York. If CJ McCullough could have hit some of them shots, he was what? What was he from three? He was 0. He was 1 for 5 from three. If he could have made them 5 threes, or he could have made 3 of them threes, it might have been a different kind of story. Hold on, my bad, CJ McCullough. Let me apologize dearly. You was 0 for 2 for 3. Why you didn't put up enough threes? The person that was 1 for 5 was Johnson. My bad. I apologize, dear brother. But you was 3 for 10. You know what I'm talking about? And you only had 6 points, sir. I still meant step it up. I just didn't frame it in the right frame of mind that I was in. You know, like I said, I went to the doctor, so you know what I'm talking about. I was in a rush. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, CJ, I uh, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Carl Anthony Towns said, you know what I'm saying? The first half, I don't know. You ain't really have a defensive stance. But the second half, it definitely was a defensive stance in that third quarter. And that kind of propelled y'all to the win. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all won 126 to 117. The Portland Trailblazers and the San Antonio Spurs won 114 to 106. And the Boston Celtics and the 76ers, I don't think I write the number. I wrote the number down, but I know the Sixers went to work. Anyway, like I was stating, uh Anunoby seems like he's been consistent all series. You feel me? Jalen Brunson. I guess that's who I need to get to at the end of the day. Jalen Brunson decided he still was gonna shoot how he was gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? You was 15 for 23, sir. You did your job, you made your shots, but you just can't be forcing them shots, sir. They ain't gonna always go in. You was 3 for 5 from three, so you kind of slowed down on the 3-point shot, but you still had the same hesitation dribble, the same pump fake and shoot for a layup. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna go in every night. But when they do fall, you get 40. I respect it, you know what I'm talking about? I still believe what I believe. You will shoot a motherfucker in the game or out of it. You know what I'm saying? Cause I guess consistency is where you lacking at, sir. But you know that's no here nor there. We ain't gonna front and we ain't gonna frat, okay? You did a magnificent job, sir. Thank you for the dub. But you see, putting the ball through Cat makes a big difference, especially that first half. You know what I'm talking about? The ball went through Cat that first half. Look, y'all was blowing them niggas out. Y'all damn near had 100 in the first. What you had, like 60 something points in the first half? It's like 62, 63 or something. You know what I'm saying? This the game I want to watch, so I still watched it. I'm like, this motherfucker, even though I'm blowing you out, you still want to shoot to be shooting. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm gonna stand the way I stand, and this is how I'm standing. I still believe if it go through Cat, y'all win. Now the next series might be a little different. It depends on who you play. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to the New York Knicks and the big win. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. But enough about basketball. Let's get into some of these antics. Ain't a lot of them. You know what I'm talking about? Call me one paper shorty. But we're going to get to it and we're going to get on up out of here. This might be a short one too. I don't know. I got a lot of ad libs, so we might be longer. I don't know. We at 10 minutes, so hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Too Short. Happy birthday to you, Tab. These are the tales, the freaky tales. The freaky tales that I tell so well. You know what I'm talking about? B-I-T-C-H. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Too Short. What you about? What you about? You know what I'm talking about? About 62? You know what it do. We're going to say you 26. I'm saying you don't even need that. You know what I'm talking about? You out there in the beautiful sun and skies. You know what I'm talking about? In the Young Bay area. So I don't see you winning or lose no way. You probably went and bought you a nice little car. You know what I'm talking about? Had you a nice little old man dinner and went on to bed early. You feel me? But shout out to you though, Too Short. You know what I'm saying? These are the tales that we tell so well. Freaky tales, freaky tales. Definitely was something that I was doing back in the day. You feel me? Let's see. I think we got another. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see if I got me a few another shout out. Maybe I got two shout outs. Shout out to Debbie Allen. You know what I'm talking about? My husband bought you a jacket and you went out on the town, huh, young lady? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, Debbie Allen is one of the ones that she definitely aged gracefully. You know what I'm saying? If you catch her in the limelight, she can't be in her 80s, but she definitely is. And I'm glad you look as gorgeous as you supposed to be, Auntie. You understand me already. Shout out to Akon. I guess he was on a pod series called Step Up to the Mic. And he did his song. I didn't even know you had did that song, kind brother. Thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I ain't know you. I think you know how the game go. You bought that dang on thing and you slung it. That's what's up, though. You know what I'm talking about? And you brought to step up to the mic. Shout out to both of you young gentlemen. Um, let's get into some of this rhetoric. So I guess a Caucasian woman decided that she wanted. Well, I ain't gonna. I don't know. I don't know how to really state this, but I'm gonna state it just like how it is. I guess a Caucasian woman decided she wanted to say the N word. And then she proceeded to tell her friends, say it, woman, say it. So this young lady got on here and was like, nigger, 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 nigger. I'm like, oh my God, I know you ain't just get finagled, finagled into saying a derogatory word that's gonna offend people. Like, what we here for that now? This is the gimmick. This is the rhetoric to make you feel comfortable. Just because you got a suit, a president in a suit that will always say whatever he mean whatever he say, don't mean you should do the same. I think you should be quiet. But they gonna find a way to make it. I don't think they gonna find a way to make this all right. I don't think you should have said none of that. And you was laughing like it was something fun to do. No, we still have put our foot way deep off in the doo-doo, okay? Man, I swear to God. They don't do nothing but call your phone. You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, you ain't tired of calling me? But I guess they not. Every day I'm going to get on here and say, you ain't tired of calling me? Because they going to call me 2-3 times during the interview or the conversation. But yeah, young lady and the young N-word, I don't think you should say the young N-word. You know what I'm talking about? Leave that. Even though, if you really actually think of the history of it, you made it. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. You know what I'm talking about? Already. Shout out to Jam Master Jay. I guess Jam Master Jay had a trial. You feel me? The what is his name? Jay Bryant. I guess he got up there and confessed to the murder of Jam Master Jay. And one of the young ladies who was in the courtroom, I guess she was an attorney, and she decided to state that pretty much it was a drug deal gone bad. I mean, we won't get the certified details, but I mean, I'm talking about Jay Bryan said he knew that they was drug dealers and they went to the studio for that such thing. So the story we're gonna get, we have no idea, but we'll wait. We'll post it. Shout out to Aries Spears calling out Vlad TV. I guess you ain't get enough money, and you start acting funny. You even called the Muslims. You know what I'm talking about? You called Louis Farrakhan, or should I say, Louis Farrakhan called you? Let you tell it, and called you and told you let it go, and you said you ain't letting nothing go. You gonna let it fly and let your tongue lie, and the line and the line and the stiller. You know what I'm talking about? You don't make enough money to make it happen, sir. That's what you want me to say? You ain't getting enough revenue. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get no Wagyu. You can't get no truffle sauce. You understand me? You ain't got enough going on. I mean, this talk gonna get you another 2 or 3 thousand views, but that's it, and that's all. And then we gonna forget about you again, because at the end of the day, the videotape that you had, we ain't gonna never forget that. The text you had on Mad TV, you know what I'm talking about? We remember that, or at least the people that's my age, they old enough to remember that. You feel me? So I don't know. You ain't talked about it enough. Vlad TV interviewed one of the kids that claimed they was molested by Michael Jackson. That it will never get old. This party had 60, 70 million views. 60, 70 million views? You can't top that, sir. And that's just something that ain't currently happening. And then we just did the movie, so I know about another 10 million when to sync it. You know what I'm talking about? You have to go on Vlad TV to get the information. I ain't going into detail on all that. I'm just saying, sir, you don't make no money. You just talking funny. Shout out to Michael Beasley. Remember I told y'all to go see the interview he had with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. Now I guess, I ain't here because I don't fuck with stupid stuff down my timeline. Well, I do. I ain't gonna lie, because I like talking about what I like talking about. But stuff like this, especially when I want you to find some information, it's on you to find the information, bro. It's on you to make yourself make sense. I ain't finna keep doing that. So, I guess people want to say Shannon Sharpe didn't ask the right questions. He wasn't educated enough person to run the rhetoric the way he was supposed to. No, it's his story. Shout out to you, Shannon Sharpe. It's his story. Let him tell it. He is the best one to articulate those words, sir, ma'am, or whoever, whatever entity decided to speak on this matter. This is why the young man stays quiet, because don't nobody want to hear him when he coming. And I think that's all I'm gonna say on that. I ain't finna get into too many details. Let's see. Shout out Mariah Carey. I guess she debunked that. I am a singer and a songwriter. So if I didn't write it, I sung it right. And if I did write it, then I sung it. You know what I'm talking about? Either way it go. Either way it go, I'm bucking. Either way it go, I'm bucking. You feel me? And she made millions or trillions of dollars. Now, what I can say is probably early on in her career, she got finagled and financed. And, you know what I'm saying, through certain romances, she got tricked and bamboozled. But nonetheless, a lot of artists in the 80s and 90s, that's what it was. You was remarking and remaking. You know what I'm talking about? So, and then once you get used to having people have input on your hits, then you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get information from elsewhere. That just come with songwriting sometimes. Sometimes you know what I'm saying, you get writer's block. And you need influence. I ain't gonna state it no further, no harder than that. You know what I'm talking about? May you be blessed and have many ventures, Mariah Carey. But I'm glad you debunked someone from lying on you, though. I'm with it, and I'm always gonna be with it. How many times you gonna say I'm a singer and songwriter? It don't take no GED. If I at this point, if I gotta put two and two together, then you don't listen to me. And that's basically what she was saying. Let me see before I do this. Let me see. So so listen. Let me say this. I guess I'm watching the podcaster that's going from California. I mean, from Philly to California. That's what I'm gonna call him. From Philly to California. I guess he wasn't getting enough people on his stream, so he decided that he gonna get hit by a car. Now, as I'm watching him finna get hit by a car, the car is behind him. I know he know the car behind him because the car moving slow. Then all of a sudden the car speed up and you get hit by it. That shit was fake news like a motherfucker. Then I look up, you in the hospital with a neck brace on, talking about we gonna move on. The very next stream, you outside. Or the stream after that, ain't no telling, cause I don't watch shit like that. Because I be thinking people be lying so much. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? And then you know it's funny, telemarketers be wanting me to make a mistake so it fuck up my feed. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna keep it moving and keep it grooving. But anyway, yeah, I thought that shit was fake as hell. And ain't nothing you could do. Come on, say something. You know what I mean? Debunk what I'm saying. I don't care. The car was behind you, brother. And you was talking into the screen. And then all of a sudden the car sped up and you got hit by it. Yeah, that was definitely a peekaboo Charlie. I just went with it. Now, what I won't say is fake is what is her name? Amani Ring Golden. No, I'm saying it wrong. Amani Ringgold. I'm gonna say it a little faster this time. Amani Ringgold. Now, she was a 20-year-old woman carrying a pizza and was gunned down. She was shot like 15 times, and it was all off of mistaken identity. You feel me? The two assailants looked like they like 26, 20. They look like they young. And they didn't just shoot her, they shot a 55-year-old and another assailant as well. All off mistaken identity. Niggas high and not paying no attention. You guys gotta stay off the weed. Stay off the drugs, sir. Fuck the weed. Cause I mean, you know, at this point weed's legal. So we can't keep saying weed. You know what I'm saying? You was on something else. You and your assailant. One was light skinned and one was dark skinned. You know what I'm talking about? Easily picked out in the lineup looking ass nigga. One nigga had dreads, the other nigga that didn't even have a haircut. Looked like y'all were struggling. You know what I'm talking about? And then Granny got on there like, was me? What about her? She was just getting off work, probably tired, probably on her way to another job. For real, for real. And then, you know, at this point, that's what the youth need. They need a motherfucker that can help them so they can help themselves. If you ain't willing to do that, this is what's going to happen. 2, 3 jobs, motherfucker young as hell, ain't got nothing going on. Motherfucker need to help a motherfucker so they can have something going on. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to the MG. I call this motherfucker the Michael Jackson jacket. This, I guess, a young toddler decided that he wanted to open up one of his presents on his birthday. Maybe it was, and he pulled out a Michael Jackson jacket. And he did not just pull out the jacket. He got the standing in front of the TV listening to Mike Jack doing the dances. He did quite well. I was like, God damn. He was feeling that. He was Thriller Night for real. You know what I'm talking about? Already. Shout out to you, young man. You did your thing. Shout out to this is kind of crazy. This ain't no shout out. This is just something crazy. But I'm not gonna tell the story how you think I'm gonna tell the story. So I guess the Taco Bell employee got mad at some customers because they wanted to take some water and fill it up with ice and fill instead of putting water in it, they wanted to put pop in it. So it was probably a conversation where you got to pay for that pop. Pay for the pop. Yeah, of course you know that nigga then took the ice and made water. I mean, took the ice instead of making water made pop. Of course he probably did his thing and that's what happened. But that don't mean you should do it. That don't mean you should get upset because he telling you you gotta pay for it. Pay for it. You ain't gotta act a fool and yell and call them bitches and hoes and disrespect them any kind of way and talk to them crazy. Then this is my thing. Once you impeded his area of control, that means he worked for Taco Bell. You went from the Taco Bell behind the counter. You had your people holding you back, telling you, get the fuck on, even escorted you to the door. You proceeded to come back and still talk crazy to the man. The other two ladies that was in on the situation, they talking crazy to him. He could have been in fear for his life at one point. You feel me? Or not even his life. Just in fear of what the fuck you might do. And you look like you just look disgruntled and upset, infuriated. You can't be talking to people any kind of way because that's what you felt like doing that day. That's what's wrong with the world. Everybody think they should get a pass. No, nigga. You shouldn't get no motherfucking pass, nigga, because I work. Nigga, I'm getting paid to tell you no. You just in the way. That's how the motherfuckers that work at them fast food joints feel for real. Like, bro, excuse my language. I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. This is my disclaimer. That's how a lot of them feel. Like, you can't just keep talking to me crazy because somebody pissed in your Cheerios. Nigga, you need to get some new Cheerios. You need to lower your cholesterol, your blood pressure high. You mad at me because you did something wrong? Why? What you stealing for? That's stealing. I don't care how you look at it or what. Oh, he ain't supposed to be mad. No, he probably not. He probably should look the other way. He probably should give you a pass. But that's not his job. He could lose his job for giving you a pass. Did you think of that? Did you think about him selling you that taco? You feel me? You upset, but you wrong. But you want somebody to feel sorry for you because you got shot at. What you was arguing with him for? And then once he told you what it was, you proceeded on. Other people was trying to get you the fuck on. You still was talking. And then he pulled out his gun and dislodged that motherfucker. Now you all on the internet talking about all wars me. I see why they ain't want you to share it. Especially with a nigga like me seeing it. Nigga, what? You was wrong, man. And you ain't want to be right. That's what it was. You wanted somebody to have sympathy for you and your kids. No, he didn't want you to die. He just wanted to scare the shit out your bitch ass. Now, was he wrong for bringing his gun to work? Hell yeah. You wasn't supposed to bring that pistol to the job, bro. That's where you get your money at. You ain't supposed to be. You shouldn't have to defend yourself. But at the same time, ain't no reason why you should be wrong for defending yourself, good brother. I know y'all probably thought I was gonna be mad and get to talking crazy about the Taco Bell employee and how he did this and did that. No, nigga, you should have paid for that car. You should have paid for that pop instead of stealing it, because that's what you was doing. You was stealing, and he had, by right, had the right to defend his establishment. Now, the way he went about doing it was probably wrong, but he still defended the establishment by any means necessary. You want me to get frank? Because the nigga can beat the case. You was wrong. You infuriated a riot for real. You in here yelling and screaming in a public place like you ain't got no sense. You probably call him all kind of names. He probably was in fear of his life. At least, hey, to a prosecutor, that's what he can say. You walked up on him more than one time. Ain't like you got mad and then stormed off and left. come back to get your cup and he nutted up? No, nigga, you was threatening that man. You and your people. Get the fuck up out of here. That's what he told you. Nigga, find you something to do. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Thought it was a McDonald's commercial. You feel me? Fuck you talking about. But shout out to the shooter. You feel me? Now, this is infuriating to some, maybe infuriating to some folks, but I don't care. Shout out to DJ Academic. I usually don't say shout out to DJ Academic, but in this case I will. I guess DJ Academic wanted to call Jay-Z a hater. You know what I'm saying? I guess he did an interview and he talking about hip hop again. This time he talking about the writers. You're not a writer, you're a biter, yourself and others, sir. I don't think you ever wrote a lyric since you've been doing music. But you want to come on here and tell people how they write music. Nigga, you'll never get the understanding of that shit because you never did it. You talking about shit that is probably 20 years old or some shit. I don't know what the fuck you was saying. All I heard was Linus. And what's the other guy from Charlie Brown? They go, that's all I heard. I heard a whole bunch of rhetoric. You trying to sell a story so you can sell an album. Niggas not buying. You gonna be one of them niggas that go down in history as nothingness. Talking about you a millionaire. A millionaire ain't gonna be talking about he a millionaire. And so on and so forth. A billionaire not gonna talk about no billions. I'm broke. You still got a shirt on. You feel me? Fuck is you talking about? But anyway, I guess you decided to say that people is old and ain't authentic, and people gonna see through you not being authentic because you ain't old. I said that. So all you did was say what I said. I really was mad. I'm like, here he go again, telling somebody else's story. You can't win telling somebody else's story, sir. It's just not gonna happen. Not this day and age. That's unauthentic. You know what I'm saying? You muttering someone else's words. That is not how life go. That's not how life is gonna go. From this point, that's why I do PSA. You could say what I say, but you can't say how I said it. And it sounds stupid when you do. Because it didn't come from you. You know what I'm talking about? Already. That's why motherfuckers can't win in this area. That's why motherfuckers can't win. That's why niggas like, I'm going to shout you out again. That's why Club Shay Shay win. I mean, he got his little people that talk shit and his little bots. But this is why motherfucker ain't where they at. Because they not them, sir. And when you become who you are, then you could tell where you coming from. You done been lying so long, you probably don't even know yourself. And the only reason why I'm talking about this to Jay-Z like this is because, nigga, I know niggas who know niggas, and you was not that nigga. You been a thief your whole life. I know you been a thief the whole 2000s. For sure. You feel me? So, nigga, you had to been a thief in 90 and a thief in 89. You know what I'm talking about? 86, whenever you came out. You feel me? So by you being a thief, nigga, what thieves do? Nigga, they gonna go find what they need to find and talk about what they need to talk about and hope motherfuckers ain't talking. But no, not now. Motherfuckers can talk how they supposed to talk. And you shouldn't have said nothing about a nigga being old. Shit, how old was you when you made Last Supper? You was 50 for sure, my good brother. Your last couple albums, you was old than a motherfucker. What about 40's the new 20? Oh, then a mother. Shout out to DJ Academic. You made a great point, sir. And I hope Jay-Z take heed to that. Nigga, you can't say one thing and do another no more. You know what I'm saying? Debunking is at an all-time high. So if you say some shit, you better meant what you said and say what you mean. And it better have some understanding to it. Cause if it don't, look, you gonna get dragged through the mud like you doing right now, son. You know what I'm talking about? But I think that's it, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? If not, if it ain't, then I'll get to it. We still got like 2 more days, maybe 3, depends on me. You understand? And I think we're gonna get on up out of here. If you see the signifying, you know it's real. With all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.